Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Unconventional Jake and welcome to my altar. Y'all, I'm not waiting for the room to fill because I've been up all day. Okay? Um, I ain't getting no sleep, you hear me? But I'm fine for now. But welcome to lesson 102. What you speak, you summons. So, tonight is not just a ritual, it's a spiritual operation. Let's see, something's not right here. Let's see, so I am live. Why do I have technical difficulties? Okay. I might have to go out and come back in, y'all. It'll all work out. All work out. Oh, now I'm saying that I'm lying. What the heck? What's today's? I know today's the 15th. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, this got to come down. I don't know what. Oh, I got two lives, looks like. I have no idea. Go back. Yeah, this got to go. Save it. Watch later. This is going back. Okay, there we go. All right. So let me start over. So welcome to lesson 102. What you speak, you summons. And tonight is just gonna be a little different, okay? And it's gonna feel like a spiritual operation. I got my notes. And we're going to fortify your auric field, summons your spiritual defense. Hi Lisa Gilbert. And call in abundance that meets you without delay. So I hope you're ready. So we're going to talk about the auric field. Your auric field is like this. I like to say the invisible shield, okay? There's something that's surrounding you. It's like a big old, let's call it a spiritual bubble, okay? And this bubble is like an energetic layer around your body made of light, frequency, and memory. It's where your intentions land, okay? They land there first. They land there first before they manifest, okay? Physically. So, words can either help make your shield stronger, or it could cause your shield, which is your auric field, to be weaker. Okay, and it'll cause it to leak. And that's why this is the perfect name for what you speak, you summons. That's the perfect name for this message, because it could be a lot of people out there wondering why things like kind of slip through their fingers, you know, like abundance. They can't maintain it long. Your auric field is leaking. And it could possibly come from the things that you're speaking out of your mouth. So, how words can affect it. Words can, like I said, can repair and strengthen it or tear holes in it. Your voice imprints directly into your field. Your voice, anybody in your personal space, how you receive what's being said, you know, Even with children, even kids, you have to, as a mother or a parent, you have to be careful what you speak to your kids. You have to be mindful of what you're saying. I had to learn that, you know. So, just recently. So, let me see. I got why protection comes before prosperity. And that's pretty much what I was just saying. You can't hold blessings if your container is cracked. There's no way. If you got a leaky auric field, you got cracks all in it. Nothing is going to hold. Nothing but the negativity. So you got to seal it up first, then fill it. And that's what we're going to do tonight before we do the ritual. Okay? So, water. Let's talk about water. Water creates and maintains the atmosphere. This is why we're doing a water ritual. Okay, so when you think about the oceans and the lakes and the ponds, right, and rivers, they add vapor in the air and things begin to circulate, right? It begins to evaporate. I'm using that example. Is what is that called? Precipitation. So, sealing up your auric field and being intentional with your words is going to cause the same effect. Okay? Because it says here, look, evaporation from oceans, lakes, and rivers add water vapors to the air. Water vapor is the most abundant greenhouse gas, helping regulate Earth's temperature so life can exist. Without water vapor, our planet would lose much of its heat at night, making it too cold for most life forms. I really want to skip over this, but I got this in here for a reason, so I'm going to take my time and go over this, because I got it in sequence like this for a reason. I'm mentioning water because I want you guys to know the weight that water carries, because it carries memory and frequency. And with this water ritual, we're going to be speaking over the water, right? And with that being said, air, the element air, is a higher octave than water. It's water after all, just a different form. Just like this gas, that help regulates earth temperatures so life can exist. Tonight, when we speak over the bowl of water, it's going to shake up the water that's in the bowl. It's going to, because we're creating. And what we're going to do, the vibrations in that water, because I'm going to pour mine out. Y'all can drink yours or whatever, anoint yourself, however you want to do it. But I'm pouring mine out in my backyard, and I'm going to sow it as an offering to Mother Gaia. I'm going to pour it at the root of my tree in my backyard. Once we speak over the water. But anyway, let me get back to my notes. So I was talking about water vapor. Without water vapor, our planet will lose much of its heat at night, making it too cold for most life forms. 2. Oxygen production depends on water. Most of Earth's oxygen comes from trees, but from photoplanktons in the ocean. So it comes from trees, but I think most of it comes from the photoplanktons. I ain't worded this right. But anyway, and these tiny organisms use photosynthesis to produce oxygen, and they require water to live and function. So if oceans disappeared, oxygen production would collapse and breathable air would disappear with it. The water cycle drives weather patterns, winds, currents, and air circulation. Rain and humidity help clean the air by trapping dust, pollutants, and particles, pulling them back to Earth. Without water, air will become stagnant, dust-laden, and toxic over time. So, bottom line, without water, oxygen production would stop, temperature balance would collapse, and air quality would degrade, meaning air, as we know it, wouldn't be able to sustain life. So, both are carriers, water and air. They're both carriers of life force. Water carries it in liquid form, and air carries it in gas form. That's basically what I was trying to say earlier. So the expansion of capacity is where air is. Air is more diffused, it moves faster, and can permeate spaces water cannot physically fill. Air has shaping power. Air gives form. Wind erosion shapes landscapes. Air pressure mold material. And in the invisible realm, air breathes, shapes sounds and words. So when you speak of your water, you're letting the air, your breath, okay, imprint onto the water the higher octave, influencing the lower. It's hot in here. And that imprint travels through the water's memory and then cycles back into the air through evaporation, condensation, and movement. So this means your words don't just bless the water in front of you, they enter the living atmosphere and it keeps circulating. Okay? So, let's see. Air is, well, let's talk about air as the measurer of movement. So time is measured by change. And change is usually tracked through motion. Air is the medium that carries movement, sound waves, weather patterns, and even the swing of a clock's pendulum. So without air, many of our human timekeeping tools, sound-based, pressure-based, motion-based, wouldn't function the same way. Spiritually, air can be seen as the carrier that allows events to move from one moment to the next. So, when I think about it, because you know, for a long time, I thought that the element of water was like the closest thing to God. I thought that water was, and it is the most, it is creative, it's creative energy. But I thought that it was the strongest as well. But the more and more I sat and I, was getting my downloads, I noticed that they don't call air energy God energy for nothing. So all that stuff that's in Ecclesiastic, what is that, chapter 2, verse 2, about Satan being the prince of the air, how he owns the skies, that's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie from a very, very low vibrational place. Because God owns it all. The Most High Mother and Father owns it all. It is the ultimate creator. It is the creator. Okay? And we're going to take it back. Okay? Tonight. Because we're going to shift some things. And see, and that's what the powers that were wanted us to think, that Satan or the devil was running the air. And so we're gonna take that back. Because life and death is in the power of our own tongues. We create our worlds. We create our realities by what we speak of out of our mouths. And that's the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Okay? So time is measured by change. And with our air, many of our human timekeeping tools, because we don't see it all that. So, y'all, I wrote so much stuff down, and I don't really want to go through this verbatim. So let me just flow. But I do want you to know that when you speak into water, you're combining times, architect. Because remember, I told y'all last week that your tongue is the one, right? And with life memory bank, which is water, we're aligning them to build our future, which is what I was just saying earlier. So when we speak over the water, we're not just saying words, right? We're creating a moment in time. That is what turns stillness into sequence. And see, this is why I says that the element of air is time, or it creates time. Because water is still. Without air, water don't move. And see, this is what makes air powerful. This is what makes air God energy. So if you're a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and you were born in those energies, honey, you here for, especially during the age of Aquarius, you have a divine mission. You are at the forefront, okay, of the line. Especially Aquarius. With Pluto being in Aquarius and this being the age of Aquarius, before you incarnated into this realm, you was like, okay, I want to come here for such a time as this, okay? So get your birth chart, look at your north node, look at your 10th house, because it's your vehicle to your north node, okay? Look at your Chiron, look at what you need to heal so that you can be progressive and break the generational curses off of your line, your bloodline. And if you need help doing that, I am available. And you can email me, or you can get with anybody that reads it. Not anybody, but somebody that you trust that can read your birth chart for you. But so I talk about how air. So air is what turns stillness into sequence. Air moves the spiral of time forward, so moments don't just stack on top of each other, but unfold in divine order. When you charge this water tonight, you're not only protecting your field, you're commanding the clock of your life to run in your favor. So air gives purpose. So fire without air suffocates and it dies. Because, of course, fire needs air to breathe. Air doesn't just keep fire alive. It directs it. It inspires it. And it tempers it. See, this is why I say anything to an air sign is just something to do. That's why they all anybody born as in an air element. Aquarius, some of them can be a little serious. But they got a funny bone. All air signs are just silly, especially when they're together. But fire may be passion, but air is vision. Fire burns in the moment, but air sees beyond the moment. So, I want y'all to have an understanding of why we're speaking into the water. That's why I'm going over these notes. I'm skimping through them. So, I even got the airbender. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Nickelodeon show, The Avatar. where Avatar Aang was born an air element, and he survived an attack that took out the whole air element. I think that attack was made by the Fire Nation, but they took out the whole air element. But Avatar Aang was put aside for such a, for later, and that's what I was saying. You can compare that to this, what I'm saying. So Avatar Aang, he had to go and learn how to bend all four elements, and it not all four. He was already an airbender. He had to learn all the other three. He had to bend all the other three. So when you think about it, there was a message that I did with Leo, and I was saying how Leo can't Leo without Aquarius. Leo can, but it'll be stuck and stagnant. Okay? And Aquarius can't Aquarius without Leo. Because each individually is like 180-degree energy. You always pair your energies with this polar opposite, because that creates flow, movement, and 360-degree energy. Okay? That's the circle. So, like I said, it's 12 zodiac signs, but it's really 6 when you pair them together. So remember that, y'all. That's so important. That is so important. So, what was I saying about Avatar? Aang. Let me see. So, the Fire Nation took out the air element because they knew that that was the strongest element. And they had to catch them off guard. And they caught them off guard. But see, that one Avatar came back and put the whole 4 elements back into alignment. I just want y'all to know how strong air is, because we're going to breathe our air, our breath, over our bowl of water tonight. So, air as the master key. Air feeds fire, air carries water, air erodes earth, air moves unseen yet shifts everything. This is the master key energy of air. Air feeds fire. It feeds fire. Well, I can remember when I was looking at the news, because it was everywhere. The California fire that we had back here some months ago, and how the whole field was just like, the fire was just kept going. And I was like, dang, when I thought about it, I was like, where the hell the air was coming from? Because that fire was, it was gone. It was, I'm talking about, it was ablaze. And it covered a lot of land. I'm talking about that fire was, it's like it just ran wild, you know. But air fed it, okay? And it carries water, of course. When you look at the tsunamis, how the air caused the frequencies in the water to move. Air can push water so far back and cause it to come back to its original place, but the water will come back strong. And because it don't really, it doesn't have structure, it could overtake anything. That's why they call those events tsunamis, because it tears, it goes out, and it just pulls everything back, and then when it comes back in, it overfloods everything, tears down buildings, forests, trees, everything, you know. Air erodes earth. And air moves unseen yet shifts everything. I'm gonna move on. So, air element in divine archetypes. Gemini, okay, which is the voice of God. This is the messenger, ruled by Mercury, the divine carrier. Brings the word, carries the signal, delivers the instruction from the higher realms. Gemini doesn't just speak, it transmits. Its way, this is the reason why the ancients saw Mercury or Hermes as the one who could travel between the worlds. Okay? I like to tell people, because I have a Gemini North Node. And one thing I know that people say the most about Gemini is that they're two-faced. Most people don't like Geminis, just like they don't like Aquarius. But what I know about Gemini is able to see the truth. All air signs deal in the truth. It's just that Gemini knows when to hold them and when to fold them. They know to wear a face for this or to have a face for that. Look at it as like Gemini mother having 3 kids. You got one child that's sensitive, one child that likes to play super strong, like they're he-man or she-man, and then you got one child that act like you just have no feelings at all. Gemini got a face for each one because they've studied them. They know where they at. They can meet them where they at to usher them where they need to be without being harsh like Aquarius have hard love. Aquarius brings down a hammer. And they blurt out the truth. They just say the truth. And sometimes truth hurts. Sometimes truth sets you free. Libra is the justice. It like to bring about balance. But it's the cardinal energy. It's the initiator. And it's a lot of things that Libra want to start that, everybody just ain't down with the program. So Gemini, that mutable energy that's in the middle, show them some grace because they can see. That's what they're there for. They're the messenger. They're the balancer between the air elements. Okay? So anyway, Libra, the wrath and balance of God, ruled by Venus, but in esoteric astrology tied to the sword of justice. Libra is the hand that measures and decides blessings or wrath based on divine law. And wrath is not rage, it's correction. It's the energy that says enough is enough. And this is why I say Libra is the strongest energy. But it's paired with Aries, the first zodiac sign. But Libra is strong. Aquarius is strong. Libra is strong. Capricorn is strong. Because of Saturn. All 3 of those have Saturn in common. But Libra, Saturn can tell Libra, look, I want you to take what I'm going to give you and I want you to do it like this. Libra sits there in this energy of, I can't wait to do this. I'm going to do it with pleasure. It's strong now, I'm telling y'all. I don't know if y'all know any Libras out there that done did you dirty and walked you like a dog and you had to bounce back and then you found out it was what you really needed because you ain't see yourself from the beginning. Okay? Aquarius 2, Saturn. Aquarius is going to show you because Aquarius mirror you. And when you leave Aquarius, you're going to ask yourself, okay, so but what did I learn? Because Saturn is discipline and it teaches you lessons. It's father time. It's restrictions. It's grounding energy. But anyway, this is why you can feel safe saying Libra carries the wrath of God. It's the enforcer of divine equilibrium. So Aquarius, the man of God, bearer of the truth, a water bearer, not carrying water but truth. Spiritual codes, life force. That's what they're saying Aquarius is carrying. More than ego, it is the embodiment of divine leadership in human form. Aquarius stands as the omnipresent witness, the one who can see the whole and lead accordingly. Ruled by Saturn, discipline and time, and Uranus, sudden divine revelation, which means Aquarius carries both the structure of heaven and the lightning strike of God's intervention. Remember I told y'all that Tower card in the original tarot deck. The Tower belongs to Aries, but Aquarius is the thunder that causes the tower to fall. Because when you think about it, and that's what we are now with the powers that were, their tower is crumbling down. Okay, and as a matter of fact, when we do this water ritual, anything that built itself up in your auric field, and it doesn't really serve you, and it has your auric field leaking to where you can't obtain abundance or hold abundance, it's going to fall. And it's going to fall tonight. Because we're going to seal it up. We're going to seal up the auric field. But yeah, the powers that were, their clock, their time is run out. And we are standing up and we're taking our place. We're taking it back. Everything. I don't want to talk about it. So, understand, y'all, that air is the most underestimated element. It is also the most powerful one. This is why they got that crap in the Bible. Well, let me see if I can find it. Because I want to say it's Ecclesiastes. No, it's Ephesians 2:2. I don't know why I say Ecclesiastes. The prince of the power of the air. It is referenced in scripture, Ephesians 2:2. And it's been used for centuries, okay, to claim that air or breath is somehow under Satan's domain. But when it's broken down spiritually, the story can be complicated, like I said, because God is the creator of everything. God created air. When a baby is born, that's the first gift, air. Okay, the devil ain't giving no baby anything. The devil can't even create anything. Okay? So, air as a creation element belongs to the Most High. Genesis 2:7, God breathed the breath of life into Adam, and he became a living soul. That's air, that's spirit. That's God's act. Across ancient traditions, air is the medium of communication between the divine and creation, whether you call it breath, wind, ruach, or pneuma. If God uses air to create life, then air in its origin is Most High's territory, not enemy property. Okay? So why the prince of the power of the air phrase exists? So in the Greek, air is not about divine breath. It refers to the lower atmosphere, the realm between earth and heaven. The early Christian writers used it as a metaphor for the world's spiritual climate, saying the enemy influences the mental and the emotional atmosphere of the age. So that's like saying someone hijacked the radio signal, and they don't own the air itself. They just send distorted frequencies through it. Okay, this was where I was saying that, the powers that were hoodwinked us. Because number 3 is labeled hoodwink. So over time, traditions blurred the metaphor and taught that air itself was Satan's realm, making people afraid of their own breath, voice, and thought space. But if you see air as a higher octave of water, which holds memory, then air is the carrier of truth. And the enemy's only tactic is to pollute the signal, not own the source. So that's why controlling your speech, thought, and information is such a weapon. It's about manipulating air's function. So reclaiming the air. Reclaiming the air is causing you to restore God's movement and sound through breath. And making it known that the Most High is still the source of all elements. The adversary can mimic, distort, and block, but can't create. So when you speak, speak intentionally. You're returning air to its rightful alignment. And that's why what you speak, you summon. It's prophetic. Okay? So I wanted to read all of that. Let me clear my notes. So Saturn and Uranus. I think I touched on Saturn and Uranus. Okay, y'all, I think we're ready for the ritual. Alright, so if y'all have y'all bowl of waters, we're going to do this ritual. Here. I also have a candle lit, but I didn't say y'all don't have to have a candle lit. If you do have one, let's see. No, I'm not gonna worry about it. It ain't no peeping alive to even consider that. Okay. So let's charge this water by placing both hands over the water. And we're going to visualize gold light, okay, pouring from our hands, from the palm of our hands into the bowl. And speak this firmly, okay, y'all? I charge this water with divine frequency. Let it penetrate every weak point in my field. Let it bend what seeks to harm me and dissolve it into nothing. I'm going to read that again. Let it bend what seeks to harm me and dissolve it into nothing. Let it seal every tear, crack, and opening in my auric field. I am untouchable in my divine truth. Y'all repeat this with me as well. Warriors of love and light, stand up. Ancestors of truth, take your place. Angelic hosts, cover us. Mother Gaia, shield us. Spirit of the Most High, command the victory. We rise as one voice, one light, one army. So what you're going to do, now that the water is charged, dip your fingers into the water, touch your forehead, your heart, and both shoulders, okay? You're going to do that again, but this time I want you to say, sealed in light, anchored in truth, okay? Untouchable in spirit. Now, you can drink this or you can do what I just did. But don't, just sip it. You gotta drink all of it. So, it is done. It is fortified. We are unseen by the enemy, yet undeniable to destiny. We move forward in light, shield and victorious. And so it is. So it be. I say. So I'm gonna do a y'all. I'm gonna pour my water. I'm gonna give this as an offering to Mother Gaia. But y'all do what y'all feel led to do, okay? So I'm gonna do a 5-card spread for the collective. And if you guys want to do a personal reading, okay, pertaining to this message, I don't see my notes. Wait a minute. Y'all can just email me, and the personal reading is only like 11.11. Okay, my life path number is 11, so it'll be $11.11. I believe it's staying in alignment, and that's like that's putting things in rhythm. Okay, and this is what I'm going to do is pull 5 cards for you. The first card is going to be the tear in the field. So what's causing the tear in your auric field? What's the other ones? Hold on, y'all. My voice. That's how I know I'm tired. My voice is leaving me. Okay, the tear in the field. Where did it go? Which is the main vulnerability draining your energy. The block at the gate, what's standing between you and your blessings. The silent enemy, the interference you don't see coming. The breath of God, the divine counterforce, the truth that will strengthen you. The seal in the overflow. What your field will hold when we complete the ritual. The ritual's complete. And I should have did this first. But if you want to go back and do it, you can speak these 5 cards that I'm about to pull, or you want to get your personal reading or whatever, send me the email. Send me a photocopy of proof of your payment as well, and I can send you the video. But this video right here is going to be collectively. So you want to go back and do the ritual and use these 5 cards, that's your business. Alright, so I'm going to be pulling, I'm working on something, y'all. I'm going to be pulling from my deck. And this deck is called the Strongman Oracle deck. And this deck is handwritten for now. This is what I'm using. So, what is causing the tear in the collective field? this is something you can avoid, okay? This is going to help you. What is causing the tear? I need to pour all 5 cards first. So this first card that's causing the tear in the field, this is the strong man that is creating a rip in your auric field. It's the entry point where low frequencies, confusion, or even spiritual attacks can slip in. Every time you think you've covered your energy, this is the leak that drains you. Ooh, honey, gossip came out. Easy? Okay, thank you for telling me. Okay. I think I even said that somebody was gossiping in the last message. I don't know. But this is the leak that drains you. What's that? So when you go back and do your ritual, you want to seal it with the breath of God so it can't reopen, okay? Give me the second card. So the core wound of gossip is craving connection through superiority. So you shrink others to feel safe in your own smallness. That's what the collective is dealing with here. And you're being called to build intimacy through truth and not performance, not trying to outshine the next one. This is distorted Gemini energy. So walking in soul integrity, okay, is what's going to clear this energy. This distorted energy. Okay. The second card, this is the block at the gate. This is what is stationed at the entrance of your blessings. It's not just blocking money or resources. It's blocking divine timing, favor, and opportunity. You may have felt stuck or overlooked because this strong man has been standing guard at the wrong gate. So tonight, after you do your ritual and you speak this energy over the water, it'll push it back and it'll clear your path, okay? Attachment to potential. And this is being in love with who people say they could become, not who they are. That's like dating a dream and not living in the reality. Attachment to potential. Looking at the potential of something. And I like to use the Betty Crocker. I think I got this from Joyce Meyer, maybe probably like 15, if not over 15 years ago. I can't remember the book that it was in, but she used potential. Her scenario was the Betty Crocker cake box, right? It sits on the shelf. It's not a cake. It just has the potential to be a cake. Some of y'all probably got some cake mix right now in your cabinet. You know, it's been there for probably like five years, 6 months, or a year too long. Okay, 2 months too long. Okay. And it's just sitting there. So, attachment to potential. It'll cause you to just, I want to say hurt or hard things. You'll just start hurting all kind of things. Putting up with stuff. All because you're holding on to the potential of something. This is what's blocking your blessings. If you're dealing with somebody who's not being their authentic self because you see the potential, you need to let them go. And you move forward because, let me see, let go of the project. Yeah, see. And receive the partnership you deserve. What truth are you avoiding by holding on? I like, this is like distorted Leo energy. And Leo rules the heart. That's like the heart of the zodiac sign. But this energy is distorted. So this is the block that's at the gate. This third card is the silent enemy. Ooh. See, some of y'all, this says self-neglect. You neglecting yourself because you pouring all your time, energy, and effort into a project. The attachment to potential. This is the energy vampire right here. Let me keep moving forward. So this strong man moves quietly. It doesn't want you to notice it. Some of y'all ain't even noticed that y'all was neglecting yourself. Some of y'all, you went from being a woman or a man that groomed themselves every month to not doing anything. Because you're feeding into this attachment to potential. And this gossip energy. Alright. So this strong man moves quietly. It doesn't want you to notice it because the moment you do, you can break its influence. It hides in your habits, your daily words, or the agreements you didn't realize you made. So when you do the ritual, it's going to expose this energy and make it impossible for you to stay, or for it to stay hidden. Self-neglect. Yeah, it's going to make it impossible to stay hidden in your field. And this is a wound of worth. Belief that care must be earned. You're giving from depletion, not overflow. So you're going to have to know that you're worthy of rest, softness, and sustenance. And this is just all three earth signs. Virgo, Capricorn, and what's the third one? Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. All three of those energies are distorted. And you're going to have to nourish worth. If I were y'all, I'd pull up, get my birth chart, look at where I got all the earth energies at, and try to alchemize that house. Okay? You got Virgo in the second house. Okay? Start right there. Then go to the next house where there's an earth element. If you want me to go in more on, my email is unconventionaljack11@gmail.com. Unconventional Jack. It should be listed somewhere. I'll write it in the on the community board. Okay. But this self-neglect though, this is the self-sabotage energy here. Or it could be an inherited pattern. Okay, two more. I'm way too good for you. So number 4, the breath of God. So this is the counter force, the frequency that rebuilds you. Well, looky. This is what builds you. The breath of God speaks truth into the cracks of your auric field until they're sealed, and then fills your life with divine alignment. You will speak this into your water tonight so that it becomes part of your atmosphere from this moment on. So what I have here though is body hatred. But this is the thing. with this being the breath of God, this is you saying my body is not the enemy's altar. Because in the past you rejected the very form of your soul, the very form your soul chose. And it disconnected you from the sacred vessel. Okay? So this is a self-worth. This is a wound of worth. And y'all got maybe 2 of those. And that comes from the realm of, let me see, you got the heart realm, the realm of the shadow of the ego. Yeah. And 2 wounds of worth realms. And this is where you strengthen your Virgo and your Taurus energy. That's why I said pull up your birth chart and look at where you have Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. Strengthen those houses. Where Virgo is, don't just Virgo, Pisces too. Where Capricorn is, don't just Capricorn, Cancer too. Where Taurus is, don't just Taurus. You have to Scorpio as well. Find the balance in the duality. So, but this is the courage that you have. Because the core wound is body hatred. But your body is not the enemy. It's the altar. It ain't the enemy's altar. It's your altar. So it's like you're just taking it back. And you're going to be the creator. Okay. Number 5. The seal of overflow. I done got too many cards. Let me put this back. So number 5, the seal of overflow. This is what you will walk away with once your auric field is sealed and your gate is clear. This is the energy that will remain and overflow into your days ahead. This is what will carry in your blessings and guard them once they arrive. I'm going to keep this card though. Put this one of them, the last one back. So what you have is emotional inheritance. Emotional inheritance. This is from the realm of the chains of the past. So before, where you was absorbing unprocessed emotions from your ancestors, you're releasing the emotion that's not in your lineage. You're releasing the emotion, but not your lineage. That's what I meant to say. You feel what isn't yours, and you don't know why. And y'all know it. Some of y'all know that, you know, y'all have those feelings, and some of y'all, I can hear somebody saying, I don't know why I feel like this. I'm gonna share something with y'all. So I have a Scorpio stellium. And a stellium is 3 planets in a house that have the same zodiac sign. And I have that Scorpio energy attached to some heavy hitter planets. And this is Mars, okay, Pluto, and Saturn. Now I'm an Aquarius, so Saturn rules my chart anyway. So with that, I just knew that I was carrying stuff that wasn't mine. But you know what I liked about it? Because I alchemized the hell out of that house. None of it attached itself to me. I was able to see that it wasn't mine. And I ain't want it. I saw it. I felt it. And thank God I'm an Aquarius. You know. Because it's distorted moon energy. And see, Aquarius really don't like to feel for real. You got time for emotions like that. But see, when you balance with your Leo energy, Leo is sensitive. Leo requires you to feel. Leos wear their heart on their sleeve. So once I sat down and really realized what I was dealing with, I was able to alchemize this energy, this emotional inheritance. And I had a sacred release. And this is the seal of the overflow for you. Sacred release. This is you releasing the emotion and not the lineage. Because we come here to heal the bloodline. To be the change, the black sheep of the family. So I'm going to do a burning releasing for you guys. And I'm going to end this live. All right, no, I need the frequency. No. I got 3 things that I want to do before I end. What is the collective need to burn and release? Somebody need to declare and decree judgment on all of my enemies, known and unknown, in spirit and in flesh. Somebody know that they got enemies out there. They sending the evil eye. So I'm not going to ignore this card. Some of y'all need to, this is one out handwritten. But you can write it on the index paper. I declare and I decree judgment upon all of my enemies, known and unknown, in spirit and in flesh. Okay. All energy that blocks my sovereignty, birthright, and inheritance are cleared from my energy in spirit and in flesh. One more spirit. All blockages to my Akashic records and the activation of my DNA are destroyed in spirit and in flesh. I'm going to tell y'all something. When y'all do this ritual, don't be surprised if some things start happening 3 days later, possibly the next day. You know, and if it do, and you participated in the ritual, let me know. Okay, hit me up. Hit the community board up. I'm going to put these here. Y'all can screenshot them. Okay. Somebody could be walking away from somebody. I'm here. Boy, I'm too good for you. Who is that? I'm just too good for you. You took my love for granted. Okay, let's do a frequency message. Alright. It says your experience of time and timeline is changing. Okay, so as you move into the fluidity of the intuition age, you'll notice that your perception of time changes. At first you feel the world going lickety split and that you must squeeze more into fewer hours and rush to keep up. You finish one thing and there are 10 more calling for attention. You never have time to enjoy your success and appreciate your own creativity or that of others. The items on your to-do list are crowded into your near future. You can't help thinking back to how quiet, beautiful, well-placed, and gracious it was in the good old days. Your mind is jumping into the past to rest and into the future to orchestrate plans. You're barely in the present at all. Without being in the moment, you feel pressured, can't feel your home frequency, and don't experience your limitless energy reserve. It's easy to become exhausted and drained. And in the old perception, your experience of time is a function of relativity. relativity, relativity, comparing past to now and future to now. What's happening in the intuition age is just the opposite. Past and future are being swallowed up by an expanding present moment. So there is more relatively in comparison, just greater presence and saturation of awareness into one eternal now moment that contains everything you need. And when everything is in the now and happens now, energy moves to light speed. The lag time it used to take to cross the gap you had imagined between present and future, between action and results, no longer exists. So when you're solving a problem, making a decision, or setting goals, you need to factor this in. Results can occur much faster without as much of a linear logical process as once required, especially if the people involved all understand this. Oddly enough, once you pass through the experience of the speed jump to hyperspace and enter the expanded now, you settle into your home frequency and life becomes calm, almost timeless. It's not fast or slow. It modulates and responds to your energy level and emotional experience. All the tasks miraculously get done. Materializing becomes supremely efficient because life cooperates with itself. People help you, and synchronicities and coincidence become normal. The more you hold the old habit of keeping the future and past separate from yourself, the more stress you create for yourself, and the more problems you experience. By rocking consciously between your personal reality and higher vision, you'll develop a natural sense about timelines and trends. You'll be more inclusive, alert to potential setbacks before they occur, and aware of interconnections between more variables. You'll sense all the probability for one path to take priority over others. You'll start with a snapshot of what's most probable that you'll hold loosely, and you'll gently adapt your plans to the shifting energy flow, allowing the final outcome to be what it needs to be. You'll enjoy the process of skillfully navigating the curves and dips in the process, the accelerations and the declarations, the place where a new strand weaves in or one is dropped from the mix. The timeline is a living thing, reflecting the needs of everyone involved in an organically changing way. So feel the path of the timeline, y'all. So it's definitely got to be a shift. So let's do this healing water. I'm gonna put my healing water part of my bag, y'all. This is the healing water oracle deck. I don't know who it's by though. Oh, Rebecca Campbell. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this deck. Joshua. So y'all been called to let it go. Embrace your water codes. Okay? And start making waves. This is you being a creator. Building a momentum. Knowing that it's your time. Get ready to achieve some things, y'all. This is gonna be something. Let's see. Okay, I've been caught, so I'm gonna put these back. And I want one to read. One that's going to hit home for the collective. Oh, there we go. Planetary wave. Soul mission. Trust the inner call. Soul team. Planetary wave. Let's see what this is. This is interesting. Let's see. My eyes feel like pepper. And I probably still won't go to sleep until late. Okay, here we go. Your soul chose to come into this body. You see, they came out in one of the strong man oracle cards. But anyway, on this planet, at this moment in time, you didn't come here on your own. You are part of a larger soul team. Sometimes it can feel as if it's just you in this thing, all alone, but that couldn't be further from the truth. You're one droplet in a vast ocean of consciousness, here to flow with life. You're being called to trust the current of your own river and to answer the call deep within. Take off the weight of responsibility that you need to travel this life on your own. Call in the ones who get you. Realize that you are part of a larger team. You are but one thread in the great tapestry of life. Your mission is clear. Keep doing what you're called to do. You'll never know the full impact that you bring. Let me start over. You'll never know the full impact that your being here on this planet will have and is already having. Keep trusting the call deep within. The more you embrace who you truly are and surrender to and flow with the current you're being called to, the easier it will be for your people to find you. Like two rivers that met or that meet, and remember that they're made for the same thing. You're not alone in your calling. So affirm this affirmation. I trust my inner calling and play my part in a greater plan. Repeat that. I trust my inner calling and play my part in a greater plan. If y'all don't know why you're here, email me. I can pull up your birth chart. And what I need though is your time of birth, your date of birth, your place of birth. That's important, especially the time. If you don't know the time, we're gonna have to figure it out. And it's a way that it can be done where we can get close to the planetary alignment of the sky from the time that you chose to come here. But that concludes the message, you guys. Let me see. And I hope, like I said, y'all, if you've done the ritual and you start seeing some results, hit me up, write it in the comment section of this video or on a community board. And I'm expecting great things. We're taking off, y'all. I thought I was going to do a benediction, but I don't see my note. So I'm going to end it here. And I will see you guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to post tomorrow. I'm out.